So offense is aggressively solving the problem of revenue. I'm hoping you're in a high margin, high ROI, high ticket service business. There's some exceptions like, personal brand or business brand where you sell courses. Some guys have done very well in drop shipping, although the stability of that business isn't great. Um, but mostly the success that I've seen at any major level, the guys that got to the eight-figure business or 5 million and things of that nature that I've personally worked with as clients over the last 5 years quite intensely. We're in service businesses. The margins were at least 50%, and they were putting a lot of that money back into marketing to buy more customers, more clients, and more prospective leads, and doing that much more aggressively than their competitors. And ideally, they were, a better niche than their competitors. For example, it's not just a carpet cleaning business, it's a carpet cleaning business that, you know, does it perhaps in a different way or solves problems that, other services aren't doing. Or in some cases, it's one of these, as I said, carpet cleaning or pool service businesses where the competitive barrier is low. The competitors are late. They don't respond well to messages. Um, they're doing a subpar job. Communications are bad. Um, they're overcharging. They're, late to send invoices. They're just not organized. And in a lot of businesses, of that nature, whether it's legal or, as I said, carpet cleaning, uh, even when I was in the currency brokerage business, it was poor competitors. So you can do quite well, just charging less and, delivering at 2 to 3x the speed by having the right organization. And it's a need already. It's a need that people are using. A need is always easier to sell than a want, even if the want is a really good want. For example, selling, credit, selling access to SBA loans. That's a great want, but selling that guy rent for his office space is an easier sell because he has to pay rent regardless. It's not a decision that he can make to turn on and turn off, assuming he needs an office. If you could come in with a better office space that's closer to his home at half the price, he's going to make that decision near immediately, right? Or at least quickly if there's no other factors, right? So the need versus the want is important in the offense, and that's usually what I've seen. So usually the guys who've scaled to eight figures, not always, were coming for prospects who already had that service provider and just doing it better or more niched when the competitor was just general and doing it faster. And they reinvested. So they did it better, they niched better, and they aggressively reinvested. And the biggest thing is the aggressive reinvestment. You can sell general real estate and general insurance and scale to six figures or maybe 200K on your own, and then you're able to hire. And you can leapfrog above every one of your competitors that's still stuck at 100K or 200K by just taking a six-figure salary or 75K and dumping everything else back into aggressive marketing to get more prospects, get more clients, get more recurring business that pays for more salesmen, which gets you more clients, gets you more recurring business, allows you to pay for even more salesmen. That's the primary thing that guys are not doing. Assuming they have a business that has a flywheel in it. Flywheel means you can reinvest on a monthly basis and the interest compounds. To me, is the ideal business. The hardest thing is the strategy of getting into the right business. But for anyone that has that and they're at six figures and they're stuck there, and there is a flywheel, sometimes you're stuck at six figures and there's no flywheel. Like in my business, the one-on-one coaching could not be a flywheel. Even though it was very easy to sell, I could sell it off of a sales page without even getting on a phone call for 1,000 a month. Clients were satisfied. I keep a lot of clients for 3 years at a time, which is unheard of in this life and business coaching game. The problem is there was no one else that I could do it. Guys don't want group coaching, and the group coaching I think wouldn't be done at the standard that I'd want it to anyways, right? So sometimes you can be doing multiple six figures, but or at least in one niche of your business. I have the courses as well and used to have the books, and I've got the Brotherhood Signal Group, but you can't flywheel that particular niche, which is why I'm moving away. I'm not taking new coaching clients right now, and I'm just pushing into doing 15 courses and pushing the Signal Group. But I also have 3 other ventures that I'm working on that I think all have flywheels and all don't involve me having to be in the business and create content as well, because that's another friction point, where the owner has to be in the business indefinitely. And that's the case in coaching. It's also the case of these content creation businesses. Although I do have a client with a very big business brand as well as personal brand who did scale beyond 8 figures and is still in the business. He's tried to outsource some of the content creation. It wasn't working particularly well, so he's got back in to do the content creation. He's mostly above it. It's just in these types of businesses, a lot of the time they are tied to organic content and the whims of the algorithm, even if you're putting out a lot of content. So the flywheel is not ideal unless you're willing to, like, let's say, spend money on YouTube to promote your organic videos. It will crush your organic reach, but you can turn that into a flywheel. The only thing is, the guy has to watch your videos for usually like 6 months to 3 years before he buys into anything, because it's a relationship based, right? So the personal brand is not, in a lot of cases, the ideal flywheel, but you can make it work. But regardless, margins at 50%, you're niched into the right strategy. It's something that you can hire operators for and move above as fast as possible. It's not tied directly to your time and the thing that only you can do. And most importantly, once you're at the 6-figure stage, reinvesting, just dumping everything you can back into that marketing flywheel. And it doesn't have to be ads. It could be cold emails, cold calls, LinkedIn direct message, direct mail, or all of the above, like I'm doing for my engineering client in our marketing and sales closing business, right? So that to me is what offense is. And then when you've maxed out the amount of money that you can invest into that vehicle, and the vehicle's maxed, or the vehicle's continuously scaling, but it's diminishing returns to put more money into the marketing flywheel. For example, if you're scaling up an engineering business, and you're putting 30, 40K a month into the marketing vehicle, you might not need to do that because, you're already in a few states and you're trying to launch into 4, 5, 6, 7 states. It's going to take a certain amount of time just to hire people and train and get everybody competent and build out the system. So, putting 100,000 or 200,000 into the marketing is actually more than you need, because you won't have the operational fulfillment to actually handle the orders that would come in from those clients. Now, there's something to be said about pushing more aggressively into, hiring operators and building out fulfillment, but you have to be careful that you don't try and build that up too quickly, because it can crush the fulfillment and you get unhappy clients. And instead of keeping clients in certain states that you were launching for like a decade, you lose them fast, and it's counterproductive. So let's say it's that scenario, and you've realized, okay, the business income hasn't maxed out, but it doesn't make sense for me to reinvest any more than 40K a month into this, and it's going to continue to grow aggressively.